Ever met someone who seems like they're made of steel? While everyone else is panicking or falling apart during a crisis, they stay as solid as a rock. Nothing seems to rattle them. We look at them from a distance and think, man, they're just born brave, or they're just lucky to be built that way. But here's the truth. This unbeatable mindset isn't a lottery win. It's an invisible shield built piece by piece through grit and sacrifice. Today, we're retaking a time machine back 400 years to Japan to learn about a legendary samurai who showed us how to turn a regular mind into something as tough as a diamond. His name, Miyamoto Musashi. Musashi wasn't just a guy with a sword. He was a master strategist. In the bloody era of civil wars, he fought in over 60 life-or-death duels, and he won every single one of them. The crazy part? Musashi wasn't some giant monster of a man, and he didn't have superhuman speed. His real weapon was his mind. Before he died, he poured his life's wisdom into a masterpiece called the Book of Five Rings. Musashi's core philosophy was simple. To become powerful, you don't need to add new things. You need to eliminate your weaknesses. He used to say, if you can cut away your fears and excuses, what's left is your true strength. Let's look at a guy named Lucas. Lucas is just like us, a 32-year-old engineer with a nice family and 2 kids. On the outside, everything looked fine, but inside, Lucas was a mess. He was a prisoner of his own mind. Every night, Lucas would promise himself, tomorrow I'm waking up early, hitting the gym, and getting fit. But the second that alarm went off, he'd cave in. If his boss got a little cranky, his palms would start sweating. He was terrified of taking on big responsibilities. Then came the breaking point. During a big presentation, Lucas had a full-on panic attack. His heart started racing. The room felt like it was spinning, and he couldn't get a single word out. The doctor told him something that changed his life. Lucas, your nervous system isn't in danger, but your mind has forgotten the difference between discomfort and actual danger. You've become addicted to comfort, so your brain treats any bit of struggle like a death threat. After that, Lucas went looking for answers and found Musashi. Musashi wrote, do not depend on any specific weapon. He practiced in the scorching sun, the pouring rain, and even barefoot in the snow. Why? So the environment could never be an excuse for losing a fight. Lucas realized he had become a slave to his circumstances. He couldn't work without his sea. He'd lose his cool if he didn't get enough sleep. So he made a vow, 20 push-ups every single day. Sounds small, right? But the rule was hardcore, no matter if he was sick, if it was storming, or if he was traveling. He could not skip a day. In the second week, he caught a nasty fever. His mind screamed, just skip it, you're weak. But Lucas pictured Musashi. Shaking, he got on the floor and did 5 push-ups. That day, he didn't win with physical strength, he won with mental willpower. He taught himself, my discipline does not depend on outside factors. Along with physical grit, Lucas dove deeper into his mind. Musashi had this concept called Haijo Shin, the everyday mind. He believed that even in the heat of battle, with swords clashing around you, your mind should be as calm as if you're sitting down for a quiet cup of tea. Lucas applied this to his modern life. Usually, if he got stuck in traffic, he'd lose it and start yelling. Now, he just sat there. He noticed his anger rising, his heart rate going up. He asked himself, Lucas, is this anger going to move the cars? No. Then why react? He didn't try to stop the anger. He just watched it like an outsider. This is called non-reactive awareness. Slowly, he reached a point where the pressure of the world just couldn't touch him anymore. Musashi said, a calm mind needs a capable body. When the body breaks, the mind wavers. Lucas felt calmer, but he wanted to push his confidence further. He set a crazy challenge, 100 push-ups every day for 30 days. For the first few days, his muscles were screaming. His wife kept asking, "Why are you putting yourself through this?" Lucas replied, "This pain is teaching me that I'm way stronger than my thoughts." By day 15, when he hit 100 push-ups without stopping, he wasn't just a strong guy. The inner samurai had woken up. He realized impossible is just an excuse our comfort-loving minds make up. Most people finish a task and immediately distract themselves. Musashi called this a sign of defeat. He saw warriors get killed after a victory because they celebrated and let their guard down. He called the solution Zanshin, remaining vigilant. Lucas started practicing Zanshin. Before, he'd get home from work and immediately crash or scroll through his phone. Now, after finishing a task, he'd sit still for 5 minutes. He'd reflect on the day and stay present. This tiny habit kept him laser-focused all day long. The ultimate test came on day 105. Lucas was called into an emergency meeting. The company was struggling, and layoffs were happening. He was told today was his last day. The old Lucas would have cried or had a panic attack. But this Lucas was built different. He felt the shock, but his mind stayed steady. He looked his boss in the eye and said calmly, "I understand. I'll get my paperwork finished today." Everyone in the room was stunned by his composure. He went back to his desk, finished his work, and while his co-workers were calling home in a panic, Lucas was already on the phone with his network looking for new opportunities. Musashi's unshakable mind had taught him, a tree stays calm because its roots go deep. Within a month, he had 3 job offers and started a new role with double the salary. A year later, Lucas isn't that fearful guy anymore. There's a steady look in his eyes. People ask him, "Man, how are you so disciplined?" Lucas just smiles and says, "I'm not disciplined. I just cut away the parts of me that wanted to give up." 400 years ago, Miyamoto Musashi lived in a cave. He had 0 modern luxuries, but he had something most kings don't: total self-control. Your battle might not be with a sword. It's likely with the grind of modern life. But Musashi's lessons still work. Cut out the excuses, stop relying on your circumstances, and build a mind that won't shake. At the end of his life, Musashi said, "I have no regrets for what I have done." What's the first excuse or weakness you're going to cut out today? Let me know in the comments. If this helped you, share it with someone who needs to conquer their fears. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, be the samurai of your own life.